Yo, what up? It's Aqua King, man. This is just a preview of Game 6 with the Warriors and the Kings. So check it. This is how this has to go down. Only way. Well, yeah, the only way. So the Kings, they're in Golden State. So they just have to. They gotta hope and pray that Golden State drops the ball. It just doesn't come out energized. Like I said, that's what their strong point was this whole season or this whole series for the Kings. They just have to hope that their youth prevails. And talent wise, overall, the Golden State right now, maybe in the season the Kings were better, but right now Golden State is a better team today. So, with that being said, the Kings, all they can bank on is their youth. So, really, they got to hope that, bro, Harrison Barnes, if you just want to hit that damn three ball, bro. Anyways, their only hope is that the Warriors come out flat. And the energy factor, the energy advantage that the Kings got over the Warriors, they gotta hope and pray that becomes relevant in this game 6. Hopefully the Warriors aren't as spirited. You know what I'm saying? They're at home, so that's doubtful to me. But hopefully, for the Kings' sake, they're not as spirited. They're not as bouncy. They don't have a lot of. They don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, they don't have any real enthusiasm. That's what the Kings got to hope for, and I hope that the Warriors come out here and drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Early in the game. Because if the Warriors come out here focused in any way, shape, or form, and like are about business to start the game, it's a wrap. The game's over. Because like I said, at this point in time, the Kings just aren't as good as the Warriors right now. They're not as locked in as the Warriors and focused. They're not as experienced. You feel me? As the Warriors are. So it doesn't play in their favor. But hopefully the Warriors come out here and drop the ball and give them that little little piece of hope, because right now they don't have any. That was a huge game they dropped in Game 5. That was, like I said, I felt like it was a must-win for both teams. So that was that game was huge for the Kings, and they dropped it. So if they can take advantage of a possible slow start from the Warriors and grab the bull by the horns and take off and just never look back at this point, that's where their really only chance comes, because I doubt they're just going to be able to go bucket for bucket and just match their skill at this point. You know, Golden State's just a better team, and right now they look like the Kings look like they're in over their head right now. So I that feels doubtful to me that the Kings just come out and match with them. They're gonna have to hope that the Warriors let up a little bit, and at home I don't see that happening. But if that does happen, the Kings got to be ready to grab the bull by the horns and pounce on them. But some other things to note. I mean, Harrison Barnes. That was. I mean, that's kind of disappointing. Right now, Harrison Barnes is not. He's not living up to what his expectations really are. I mean, he's like I said, he's a solid pro, and he's been decent for them. I'd say a little bit below average, but at the same time, you gotta expect. You can only expect what is realistic out of a player like Harrison Barnes. I mean, to be honest with you, for all y'all who don't know and have wild expectations for Harrison Barnes, number one, Harrison Barnes, he's he's not a clutch player. I'm gonna just keep it like I told you. I used to be a big time Golden State Warriors fan. They're still cool to me, but I'm with the Kings for this series. You know, if they win, I'll probably go for the Warriors to win the whole thing. But Harrison Barnes, he's not really a clutch player. All the years that he was in Golden State, he was never really a clutch player. Couple players around that time was like Andre Iguodala. He hit clutch buckets, regular season playoff series. S. Sean Livingston. He made clutch shots for the Warriors in those early year runs for them. Klay Thompson, he hit clutch shots. Steph Curry, he hit clutch shots. Harrison Barnes was that one that, man, when they needed that bucket, when he had a lot of times when he had open looks, a lot of times he clanked them. A lot of times he did not convert on those open looks. Maybe occasionally in the regular season he was all right with making pivotal shots and clutch buckets down the stretch and things like that. But certainly not so much in the playoffs. When he was in big moments as far as like getting a bucket, he's not really, at least in the playoffs, he was never really came up too big for them when he was a Warrior. So you can't really put too much expectation on Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes is a guy that needs to be like a leader by example through the rest of the 47 minutes of that game. He's not your go-to player down. You would think that he is, but he's just not down the stretch of ball games. And you know that's not his fault. I mean, you would like him to be better, but that's on the rest of the Kings. That's something that you need to be able to identify. De'Aaron Fox, you got to understand that, hey, that's what it means when a superstar declares that, you know, I take the last shot for this team. De'Aaron Fox has got to know, like, he has to have it fixed, imprinted in his brain that, hey, I'm taking the last shot here. You know what I'm saying? Other big time, Monk is a big shooter, he's a pretty clutch performer. He has to be making it a point to be around the ball, make himself available. Kevin Huerter makes big shots. Kevin Huerter's been struggling this series. They said he's 4 for 25 from 3 this series. That is unacceptable play. And that's one of my favorite players. Kevin Huerter and Swiper Fox, my favorite Kings. That's unacceptable. So he's been a letdown this series. I'm going to be honest with you. Keegan Murray I feel like he's gone above and beyond, and that's the whole problem. Your rookie should not be your driving force or one of your second option for this team that's full of vets. Not full of vets, but has some seasoned players in their starting lineup. Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter. Y'all need to show up, man. If y'all get eliminated tonight, man, don't let it be because of you two, because y'all haven't shown up all series. Sabonis, they say Sabonis is so finesse and he plays small. That's disappointing because they need a physical presence down low. You got Draymond down there and you got Kevon Looney down there. Those are dogs in the trenches in the paint. You got to come up with something. You know, you got to come up with something that's gonna be put some pressure on them. You got to be a threat because right now, you're not much of one, at least down low. So, Sabonis, you know, he's been putting up numbers. He's been putting up some production, so you can't blame it on him. My two focuses are two players, and mostly we got Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes, and mostly Harrison Barnes, man. I understand him not coming through with that clutch 3. If you're a Kings fan, you got to eat that. You got to take that punch, and you got to accept that's not his responsibility. That's De'Aaron Fox's responsibility. That's Sabonis' responsibility. That's Herter. That's Monk. They need to be coming through in those moments. That's not Harrison Barnes' role. But as far as the other 47 minutes of the ball game, I mean, Harrison, you are the vet of this team. You got to be producing a lot better than what you are. You guys got youth on your side. Yeah, you have to be. You're way too polished and too talented offensively to be having 13 and 9-point games and scoring 11 and no, you're way too, and you have a responsibility for the Kings to be way more productive than that, and my boy's just not. So I expect him to, step up for his team, at least go out slinging. But it does not look good for Sacramento. If they can steal this home, if they can steal this and stave off elimination in this Game 6, that'll be huge for them. If they can get this series, this Game 7, if they can bring a Game 7 back at their place, sheesh. It's a toss-up there. It's a toss-up. And if they can push it to a Game 7 in their place, I got the Kings coming back and taking the series. That's highly doubtful, but if that situation presents itself, I got the Kings in 7. So, yeah, man, it's Aquarius King, man, King Aquarius, aka Aquaman. Signing off. I'm gonna get at y'all. Adios.